purposes. When you're talking about gender, you're talking about how you read something. And when you read something, you read it in the masculine sense, or tense rather, the masculine tense, the neuter tense, which means neither one, or the feminine tense. Okay? That's about how literature works. When you're talking about biology, you're talking binary. It's either male or female, and that's sex. That's biology.
I have a question.
Yes.
Alright,
So,
the
Batman, I don't know what you're talking about from the beginning. And let me tell you this: what you're speaking of, I don't know where you coming from. I don't know what you're speaking
I'm
of. And
coming.
I'm born.
So you
I
don't know
am
where
a
I'm
man of
coming
God.
from?
I am a minister. I do
I'm
preach
coming from.
what your father was speaking about. It ain't nothing what the Bible is speaking about. You need to
I'm
go
going
back
to go
to the
ahead and
Bible
mute
and
you
speak
now.
of
Thank you very
God
much.
because
Have a nice
up on here
day.
you ain't speaking of
The
God.
fact of the matter is, you don't know where I'm coming from. Did you not hear me quote the Bible a dozen different times on everything? You know what? I'm sola scriptura. I'm going to back up every position that I hold with the scripture and with the science. The science cannot be done without the God of the scripture. I can back that up too. Now, if you don't know where I'm coming from, it's only because you haven't been paying attention. Maybe you need to wake up or take your ADHD medicine. I don't know which. Next.
All right, thanks. All right.
Hello, Mr. Batman.
Good evening. How may I help you?
Before you ask your question, I'm just going to say to the audience, don't forget to join the server. We're going to be doing a lot more stages now. Mr. Batman may not be here for all of them, but we're still going to engage in some constructive conversation. You can ask your question.
Yes, absolutely. And I joined the server as well, just for that occurrence.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Batman.
Quite welcome. So, Mr. Prometheus, how may I help you?
Do you believe the laws of logic are universal?
They're universal, eternal, and unchanging.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with that, right? We can have fuzzy logic systems that don't utilize the law of excluded middle, and pair-consistent logic systems that don't utilize the law of non-contradiction. So I don't know if we would say...
Really? Hang on a second. So, if you have a fuzzy logic system that does not use the law of the law of the excluded middle, is it true that this fuzzy logic doesn't use the law of the excluded middle, or is it false?
Well, in fuzzy logic, there are more truth values than true.
I'm sorry, sir. I asked you a very specific question. Is it true that this particular form of logic can or cannot use the law of the law of the excluded middle? Because it's either true or it's not. So which one is it?
Well, you're presupposing the excluded middle, right?
Have a nice day, sir.
You're
Have a
begging
nice
the
day.
question. This isn't an
No, sir, I'm
argument.
not begging the question. Everything requires the laws of logic.
Research
They are the
logic.
necessary. I'm sorry, sir. Did you know that even quantum mechanics, even your fuzzy logic, requires the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle?
Quantum
You know
mechanics
why?
involves
I'm sorry, I'm
contradictions.
speaking. Shut your mouth, boy.
Fuck
Shut
off.
your mouth. Have a nice day.
All
You
right,
see,
we're not going to have that on here.
You see, unfortunately, sir, what you don't seem to understand is I understand quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics, people say, oh, well, things pop into and out of existence all the time because of quantum singularity. So that violates the law of identity. And then, of course, because you can't see it, that violates the law of non-contradiction, because it could be in multiple places at the same time. Because when you get to a certain level in the quantum realm, they don't simply disappear. They exist everywhere simultaneously. So that violates the law of the non-contradiction. No, it doesn't. Let me ask you a question. Hang on a second. Let me ask you a question. How did you identify what you're looking at to begin with? A quark, a quantum. How did you identify that? Oh, and by the way, how did you compare and contrast that quark or quantum to things that are not quarks or quantums? Oh, and it's either true that you're looking at a quark or it's not. So right there is all three of the laws of logic when you say you don't need them. Have a nice day. Next.
Right. Mr. Batman.
Yes.
You see,